Over 95% of the tidal wetlands in the San Francisco Bay Area have been either altered or lost, due primarily to filling for development and conversion to salt ponds, duck hunting ponds, and agriculture. There's a huge movement in the last 30 years to restore these vital ecosystems. Tidal wetlands are important in the San Francisco Bay Area as they provide many ecosystem services that are very important. Flood abatement, for one, buffering against severe storm events. They act like sponges during storms and release water slowly afterwards. They filter pollutants and help in improving water quality in the Bay Area and surrounding ecosystems. They sequester carbon to help ameliorate the effects of climate change, produce huge amounts of primary productivity, provide wildlife habitat for diversity of common and endangered species like the clapper rail, and create a nursery for many estuarine and pelagic fish, sharks, and invertebrates.
The current trend of global warming will actually impact sea level in two ways. One is the actual melting of the ice caps and glaciers, which is going to increase the liquid volume of the oceans. And the second process is referred to as thermal expansion, and this is where by increasing the temperature of the water, you increase the volume. And so the water is taking up more space because as it warms up, it expands.
If sea level rises, the tidal wetlands around the bay will be covered with water and converted to open water habitat at the highest tides, especially during king tides in the winter. We will lose then all of these valuable ecosystem services that they provide.
So when you think about climate change, you'll notice that it's a spatial and temporal phenomenon. And when you're dealing with addressing issues concerning the impact of climate change, you'll notice that you also need to take those two items into consideration. What's the spatial extent of that impact, and what's the temporal extent of that impact? GIS is really good at actually being able to quantify what those interactions actually are. And a nice and easy way to visualize this is looking at sea level rise and how climate change is impacting sea level rise, and how sea level rise actually interacts with a variety of different projects and priorities that decision makers and people are actually interested in.
Our results show that sea level rise in the Bay Area is already affecting nearly 500,000 acres of the wetlands. And as time passes, these wetlands will only get more and more inundated. In 100 years from now, and with this rate of sea level rise, the San Francisco Bay Area will have lost 220,000 acres of wetlands.
I think at this time, the only way to reduce or stop sea level rise would be to address the really big challenge, which is for us to decrease the amount of greenhouse gases that are released into the atmosphere through human activity.